Hi guys, welcome back to the Drive Life channel. In today's video it is service day. So we're making two videos, one servicing the Volvo and one servicing the Jeep. I'm not sure which order I'm going to upload them in, so this will either be the first one or the second one. But in this video we're going to do the Jeep. This thing's probably due a service. It's probably a little bit overdue, to be honest, but we're just going to whip out the oil and filter, bung a new one in. It should take us 20 minutes tops. We've run it up to temperature, so the oil's warm. We're going to be using an oil extractor, so the warm oil is easiest for the extractor to suck out, makes it quicker, and yeah, should just make the job far easier. So if you join me at the front of the car, we'll get started straight away. Okay, here we are then in the belly of the beast. This is the 2.8 CRD diesel. Mrs. DL is ready with her 27mm socket. That's going to go straight onto the oil filter housing there. Go on, get your muscles in. Go on, go on, go on. There we go. I'm just going to slowly back that off. And while she's doing that, we're just going to take a look at what we've got today. So we've got some Castrol Edge 5W30 long life. We've obviously got a OEM quality filter, got a general toolkit and the extractor here. So what happens with the extractor, for those of you who don't know, one of these tubes will fit down the dipstick, make its way down into the sump. We pump the extractor, and using the magic of air pressure, it essentially sucks it out. So how are you getting on? Is that done? Yeah. So what we're going to do here, just to catch, now Jeep have actually designed this very well. Can you see that they've actually got a little thing here to catch any oil as you pull that out? It's genius, isn't it? Yeah, that's so without getting ourselves covered in oil, we want to pull this out, catch the oil with something, hence why I brought this rag, and then want to get the other filter out first, whip it out, and then make sure they're the same filters before we drop the oil, really. That's the plan, so let's give that a go now. Okay, so I've got the other filter out ready, and I've got the box, and we'll chuck it straight in the box. I'm ready when you are. So you just, the air hose is slightly in the way. So, good job, good job. There you go. Okay, sit straight in there. And that is the same filter as we've got, so that's always a bonus. And look at the minimal spill there. So this is where it gets a little bit messy, because we've got to try and separate the filter from the housing now, which isn't the cleanest job, because we've got to try and get hold of the filter.
Why don't you use this?
Oh, that's a great idea, yeah.
Darn it.
Good idea.
There you are.
Thank you. I'm just going to grab that there. Oh, I've just touched it. It's impossible to stay clean. No, it's not. There we go, just like that.
That's more of a pull, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a pull straight out. Right, this is now leaking, so we'll put it down on the floor out of the way. And here we have our lovely oil filter housing. So what we need to do is to put this new filter in, and can you see here we've got a rubber ring. So that needs to go. We need to take this rubber ring off here. There's a rubber O-ring on there, and put this one on. So we can put the new filter in first. It's nice and easy. Like that. Oh, it doesn't matter really either way. Okay. I think it's actually impossible to do an oil change without getting oil on you.
No, it isn't.
I'm sure it is. I bet if you did it.
I haven't got oil on me. See, now look, you've got to get it over the filter. So in theory, if you just waited and took that off first,
you are completely right.
That would be a lot easier, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be far easier.
You wouldn't get oil on the new filter.
That's right, it's going to get covered in oil anyway.
Yeah, but that's old oil, isn't it?
Okay. She's gonna do it, peeps.
I was just going to do that bit.
I can do the oily bit. Cool, just want to stick that one with the old filter in the box. Oh, sorry, you've got oil on your hands now. Okay, what I'm going to do is just work this new O-ring down. Don't really make sure it's not twisted and not pinched, so I've twisted it quite a bit. So I'm just going to untwist as much as we can. Try and get it seated where it should be. Then we can untwist it and that sounds like someone's got a flat tyre on the main road, doesn't it? Okay, so there is our O-ring there, nice and in place as it was. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to leave this out, because what it will do is it'll enable the sucker, the oil extractor, to suck up the oil better, more easily. So stick this there, and now it's time to deploy the oil extractor. Before we do this, we actually just need to check the oil level so we know where it needs to go back up to. Okay, so if you want to do that, which is possibly what the nicest dipstick ever.
Can you just
it's like a coiled metal. It's wiped. It's wiped.
It's quite difficult though, isn't it? It's nice. Very difficult.
Yeah, but you've got to sort of hold it down.
Yeah, well then you get oil on your hands.
Yeah, true.
Have you wiped that properly?
Yeah, yeah. Look, it's immaculate. Oh, absolutely immaculate. There you go. That's it.
Push it all the way in.
That's it. Make sure it clicks down. Just gonna lift it out, and you can see, if you guys can see that, it is on max. So that's good. We know.
Probably because it's warm. Does that make it a max?
Yeah, it's warmed, and also don't forget we're parked on a slight incline, aren't we?
D5.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Hill, general hill. So
going down.
We'll remove that, down. And now it's time to deploy the oil extractor. So, without getting it all over Mrs. DL's clothes, we're going to, as you can see, we're in quite a confined space here. Mrs. DL
Which I will say, I did try and correct before we started the job, but I wasn't having it.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, she's probably right, as usual.
You're like you're wrangling with a snake there.
Okay, so. Come on. There we go. We need to get this bad boy threaded down in.
It's my bumper, just repainted that.
It's alright, it's steel. Okay, so we'll start off at max insertion. That's grim, isn't it? Do a couple of pumps. Can you see the oil coming out now? So this Jeep takes around 7 litres of oil, which is quite a bit, but it's quite a big engine, I suppose. So we're expecting about 7 litres to come out. This is only...
If it's on max, I suppose that's
yeah, this
sounds
is
about right.
6.5 litre.
Oh.
So we might have to just empty it a little bit. That's why I bought the water container down there. So that'll be that. So the oil's going to slowly start coming. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this down on the floor and it'll make it quicker. To do with like science and stuff. So the hotter you have your oil, the faster it will run out. That's
why you want out first. It's not me farting.
that I'm sure that is the pump, I promise.
And what would you say about the cost of living crisis? Would you say this is important that people are doing this?
Yeah, I mean, it's tempting with the price of everything going up to put the service off, but actually that's only going to be more expensive in the long run as things get filthy inside the engine, things start to go wrong, your valves start to stick, and you get carbon build up. So it's actually financially a better idea to serve it more often. which seems counterintuitive and is more expensive than we'd like it to be, but ultimately it is cheaper than things going wrong and having to pay someone or buy new parts or that sort of thing. So,
Or have it serviced by somebody professionally. You can
Yeah.
you can do it. You can do it
yeah,
yourself.
you can do it yourself. Yeah. You don't need to. I mean, look, we're not qualified in any way mechanically, but
Well,
that
I'm
was 60
definitely
quid.
not.
The oil and filter together was 90 quid. If we went to a Jeep garage and asked them to service it, it would cost upwards of £200.
Yeah.
And you can buy the tool that you can keep and the whole service kit for well under that. So it's worth investing in the tool to make your life easier, I think, anyway. So we're just going to wait now for this to all drain out. We've already got half a litre out, so it's slowly getting there. And in the meantime, we're probably just going to check all the other stuff. So we've got our power steering reservoir here. Just while we've got the cloth out, we can just give everything a bit of a wipe over. Level is good. Brake fluids over there, that's good. What's really cool about this Jeep is the fact that you have a transmission fluid dipstick. Now it's got a Chrysler 4-speed automatic transmission, very long geared. I don't know if you guys can see there. You've got a dipstick for the transmission fluid. Transmission fluid is lovely and clean. I actually had a rebuild. The whole transmission had a rebuild about 15,000 miles ago, so it really should be clean. In it should last.
Not by us, I will just
No,
add.
not by us, previous owner, because unfortunately before he bought it, the lady that owned it before, for a number of years on the MOT, it had a gearbox fluid leak and she never got it sorted. Within a month of him buying it, the gearbox blew up. So poor chap had to spend his £2,000 having a full gearbox rebuild, and then sold it to us, which was very, very kind of him. He sort of was struggling to afford it, had a business, he needed to pay off some loans, so we took it off his hands, and it's had a pretty good home since, hasn't it? Had everything it's ever wanted. But no, yeah, we do like to change the oil regularly and keep it nice. Every now and then we give it a clean, don't we?
Very rarely.
And then we always go, oh, that looks really good when it's clean. We should do that more often. But yeah, no, coolant as well is okay. Got washer fluid. You actually, oh no, you've got plenty in there. I put a new mix of unfreezable washer fluid in there for Mr. Gel. Because
It does smell very good.
It smells very good. And around here, the salt on the roads just blinds you completely, doesn't it? It covers your windscreen within 3 seconds flat, and because the windscreen is so small on that, it takes seconds for it to just be covered completely. Got a bit of corrosion coming on the battery here, so that'll be a job for another day, I think. Just giving that a clean off.
A bit. That looks
Yeah,
horrendous.
it's not too bad. It's not too bad. When we actually first got this Jeep, Mrs. DL was working at a supermarket, and there is a reason for the story. The first day we got it, she had to work the next morning, so obviously we were very excited to have it. We got home from buying it about 10 o'clock at night. She was working at 3 o'clock in the morning, so I said, don't worry, I'll drive it and drive you to work. So 5-minute drive down to the supermarket. Got there, dropped her off. I turned the engine off because we were chatting, we were a little bit early. Went to start again and it wouldn't start at all, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I was just like, oh god, what's happening? And it turns out the battery terminals were corroded, so all we did was take the terminals, take the plugs off, sand them down so you've got bare metal again, put it on, and we haven't had an issue since, have we? It's been absolutely brilliant. So it was quite strange. It just, as soon as it just did nothing. It was as if the battery was disconnected. So yeah.
Well, it was.
Well, it was. Yeah. It didn't get it. Didn't have any connection at all. So that was, yeah, interesting. But no, it's part of the family now. This Jeep, isn't it? Part of the family, despite
How are we
its
doing?
obscene costs and a litre now.
So it's very slow going, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if we'd taken it out for a drive before and really got it warm, it'd You're probably on 2 or 3 litres by now.
I don't have much diesel left, and I'm not willing to pay for some more at the moment.
It's not when we just shell that 100 quid for the service.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, no, so it'll take its time, but it's just a nice thing to... I quite enjoy doing these services, and you're not a particular fan, are you?
But yeah, I'm just not when it's cold and raining.
True. But, yeah, so we'll join you guys in a bit when it's sorted itself out. Okay then, so the oil's just finished draining. We've had the full 7 litres, and we're now going to fit the oil filter back in. Like I said, this airbox pipe is in the way, so you've got to sort of do a bit of jiggery pokery, be a bit firmer than perhaps I'd like to be, but it's sort of necessary to get the job done, unfortunately. Actually, what we'll do is we'll do it the other way around. We'll put the filter in, because there's, you'll see this little locating nut here. That needs to clip down and in like that. I think that's it anyway. Yeah, it seems to be. And then we'll put the cap on. There we go. So let's tighten that down. We'll hear it pop in to the cap, the filter. And it says on the top 25 Newton meters plus 5. So what that tends to mean is just sort of up reasonably tight, and then just a little turn more, and that's it. That will be enough for that. So let's get the new oil in. Put this around to catch any inevitable spillages that will happen. I don't think I've ever managed to put oil in a car without spilling some, so I now prepare. You can also put the dipstick back in here. Difficult to do one-handed. Onto its side, like I say, there you go, look, there's the first spill of the day. There we go. So we chuck this whole 4 litre one in. Do a check once we've put in. So that is now 6.5 litres. So what I'm going to do, give that oil a chance to run down. We'll then do the dipstick and check how the level looks and go from there. Okay, yeah, so that's about halfway, so I'm fairly happy with. Got to bear in mind that we are on a slope, so we don't want to overfill it. So I'm happy with that. So let's go and start it and see how it sounds. Okay, then let's start this bad boy up. What I'm going to do is just go cycle the key a couple of times just to give it a chance to cycle any fluids if it does. Otto here is ready, waiting, aren't you, boy? Otto just loves to be in the car. If you're working on the car, he doesn't want to be in the house. He wants to be in the car with us, don't you? Hey? Good lad. So, had all the beeps. Let's give it a go. It's always nerve-wracking, isn't it, starting a car after you've just filled it with oil. There we go. So there's a reminder we've got the door open. Now that already sounds a lot better. Much less clattery. Let's go round and open the other bonnet latch. See how that gets on. There we go. That certainly sounds much better than it did. That's because it is. So what I'll do now is I'll turn the car off, let it sit for a bit, and then just again readjust, remeasure the oil level. Yeah, that's much smoother now. Much smoother now. So I'm happy with that. Nothing out the back as well, so yeah, I think we're good. So we'll turn it off. We're going to lose some oil level because obviously the filter fills back up. So we'll just let it sit now, remeasure it and see how it gets on.